Le transizioni raccontate prima sono transizioni che dovranno essere affrontate sicuramente da noi nel presente, ma avranno poi una ricaduta e un impatto.
All the innovations, have an impact on the next generations. So it's young people should have resources in terms of know-how and skills, but on the other hand, these young people will be confronted with a more difficult world from a climate point of view. Now, I give the floor to Carlo Notarpietro of Will Media and to a group of young people.
Dove vuole? Qui, di là? Dove vuole? Sì, sì, sì.
Mettiamoci in mezzo. I ragazzi qua. No, Raffaele, mettiamoci in mezzo
Allora,
i ragazzi un po' e un po'. Ma sì, dai. Facciamola semplice.
We're almost ready. Let's make it simple. Okay, we are ready. Good afternoon. My name is Carlo Notarpietro from Will Media. We'd like to discuss, with these young people about the generations. It's not, something that they're doing like that. We just discussed yesterday about their problems and their experience in terms of education and training. I'd like to thank all these young people for their availability and for accepting to compare their ideas. We started yesterday. Now, what are young people looking for today? They're not just looking for a job. They want to have a job that can enhance their values, where they can implement their values. And we are discussing with them Raffaella Capriolo, Chairman of Umana, and Giovanni Brugnoli, Vice President for Human Capital with Confindustria. I want to ask a question that I asked these young people yesterday. Among the various institutions like family, businesses, all the institutions involved in training, which is the institution you trust more? And they said the educational world and the business world. So this was the answer. So you can introduce the dialogue with these young people, starting from this. Thank you very much. I want to greet these young people who have an important role in terms of, thinking. And in particular, San Patrignano is the ideal setting to have these young people. I believe that the answer is perfectly in line with what Confindustria has done in the last 8 years to put together the educational world and the businesses. So we worked a lot so far in order to do what we could do as a job agency, in order to have a better understanding between school and the labor market, to fill the gap that is there and is worsening despite our initiatives, because we want to have people who can find a job in companies. We use new schools like ITS, technical schools, and we tried also to allow young people to understand immediately what the needs of companies are, and really practical needs of companies who are located in specific territories. But we are talking about a few figures, compared with what we have wanted to achieve. Yeah, I'd like to thank these young people, because they really summarized what we wanted to do as Confindustria. That is increasing the dialogue between the school and the businesses. If the educational world does not have a dialogue with the business world, the enterprises, we cannot have a digital transition. We cannot have a green transition. We must have a link between schools and businesses. Otherwise, the type of training these people receive is not suitable for the labor market. So we also need politicians, that can implement what we would like to see and we would like to find in terms of education and topics taught at school. They don't want to look they don't want to find a job, but they want to find a job that is meaningful for their future, because the future of these young people does not end when they finish their school career or they obtain a degree at university. They need to have a luggage of knowledge important to enter the labor market. So thanks to your experiences, these young people had the possibility to have to work, to study at school, at the same time have part-time work in companies, what we call alternating school and work. So this creates a better link with the labor market. So the role of enterprises, the role of business is key, and we try to develop this continuously. I'd like to know, so I try to be a moderator of this session. I'd like to know from you, what do you expect from businesses? What was your experiences during this alternance between education and work, and what you didn't like about this approach, so we can hear what from them?
Giulia, can you answer? Okay, let's get our microphone. So, good morning. I'm Giulia. I'm 22. I'm going to the ITS Pharma Academy. I am a chemical expert. I decided to go to university in the 2 years, 2020, 2021. So it wasn't the best experience because it was online. I lost contact with professors and fellow students. So I gave up my studies and I found the ITS and fell in love with it. I work, but I am very connected to my institute. They really provided me with a competitive skill set. I work for Sanofi now. I have renewed my second internship. In September, I will go to Budapest with Sanofi for another work experience. So for me, the ITS works is something I advise everyone to do. And I also met my boss at school, and I will always be thankful for this scientific and technical institute. So, thank you, Giulia. So, we talked about STEM subject matters and gender stereotypes. Of course, we've been talking about the fact that the average of degree votes is higher for women, but once women are in the labor market, they are earning less than men, or just a part of them earns more than men. So I would like to talk to our girls here to see how the labor and training market is evolving. So I am 24 years old. I'm studying civil engineering in Rome. I'm here thanks to a scholarship I won in 2021 for women in STEM. My experience has changed a lot lately. I have a lot more awareness, and I have seen that I am an active part of the change that is happening. But I am also convinced that it is important to be very firm in one's purpose, meaning that you must pursue your objectives, because even though there is gender inequality, you have to be curious and enthusiastic. I am passionate for what I do. And so I would like to use the words by Conchita de Gregorio, who says, live as if the world was already the world you want, with kindness and determination. I would like for the world to be what we want to be. Thank you for your kindness and determination. Hello, I'm Maria Grazia. I am 19. I'm studying aerospatial engineering at the University Federico II in Naples. Certainly in STEM, there is a lot of inequality between men and women, also the underpay gap, but also from the point of view of the environment, because there are strong stereotypes that still think that make people think that there is job for women and job for men. Of course, time has improved the matter, but we still have a lot to do, and it's important to offer equal opportunities to women and men. Thank you. So, listening to these three girls, well, they have made a different choice compared to their peers, pushing their hearts and their aspiration a bit further. And you've touched upon two important elements: the fact that your families have really accompanied you in your choice, because a lot of the times family are not so open to send a girl to a technical institute. We're still 20%, whereas we could have a lot more girls going to these technical institutes who can then find their way, find a job. So you've gone beyond. Same thing for STEM, aerospatial, civil engineering. Why should a girl not study these subjects? Because we boys think that we are more intelligent. Well, we need a lot of help from teachers here, because teachers must tell families, look, your daughter has all the capacity, the skills to work in chemistry or mechatronics, but it's very hard, for girls and boys alike to study aerospatial engineering. It's not that boys know more than girls. So teachers must be the first people who actually accompany families in making an informed choice with their children. And we have to leave behind this ancient culture that there are some differences in what boys and girls can do. So we have to communicate this in a better way. Media must play their part, but teachers, who are the ones who are with the children for the longer period of time during the day, must help them make different choices. I would like to take this opportunity to talk about how difficult it is to do that first part of an orientation. So I would like to ask Giulio and Francesco, coming from two different areas, to talk to us about their experience with the technical school to start with, and with the choice to make after. I'm Giulio Calegarin. I go to a technical school in Pordenone, and there is certainly a lot of bias in terms of what a young student should do after high school. The option is normally university, or plan B, go to work. I actually found out that, I went to university, I didn't like it. I couldn't see the fruit of what I was doing. So I went to the technical institute, where they told me, we want to take you through the journey of finding work. So now I am working in my second year. I'm working with a company, and it works. For me, it's great. And a lot of students from my course are, like me, placed in different companies. About half of the students of my course are working in companies and want to continue working for these companies. And so I think this is a fantastic result. So I think the Scientific and Technical Institute is a great alternative. Also,
con un contratto di lavoro di apprendistato.
Apprenticeship is a contract, is a proper work contract. So apprenticeship is not a lesser way of working. And it's very important, 2/3 of the contracts of apprenticeship after an ITS become an actual contract. Also, for a company, having apprentices is an investment. Again, the idea that an entrepreneur must, must take advantage of apprentices is wrong, because it is in fact an opportunity. It's the other way around. We have to use the resources we have in our company. So let's use our apprentices.
My name is Francesco Altelomaso. I attend ITS in Parma on logistics. I want to tell you why I made this choice. I come from Gaeta, close to Rome, and this sector is not well known. So I believe that we must do more advertising about ITS schools, because in Italy people do not know that there is this opportunity. On the contrary, this type of institute, technical institute, is considered a secondary choice compared with the Lyceum. But on the contrary, in these technical schools, we study a lot, and we have more opportunities because we are connected with the enterprises, with the businesses, so we can even know what could be our future employer. But some people do not know about ITS schools because it is considered a second choice. In Italy, people think that attending a secondary school like a Lyceum can open you up more opportunities for universities. But attending ITS schools, is nothing bad, because you can even go to university. So I think that the ITS schools are a great opportunities for us. I see that there are people from the audience that are taking notes about what you're saying. So I'd like to ask Sara and Francesco, what is the relationship between education and work? It can offer important options. Yeah. Good afternoon. I'm here to witness the work I did with the Pittini group. I started working in this group as an alternance between school and work. And when I finished my last year of studies, there was a project called Steel Training, and 8 people could be selected by the company to do practical training. After this period, if the workers were successful, they could be hired with a full-time contract by the company. So in this specific project, you receive a specific training. So I'm really very glad of this path I did, and I believe that a dialogue between businesses and schools must be promoted more, because when young people finish their school path, the school trajectory, and have to enter the labor market, don't know what to do. And if they already have proposals from businesses, they can have a choice, and so the only problem is to understand whether this is the right job for a young person or not, but there is already an option. Yeah, I'd like to take the floor because, I believe that it's important to help young people to find their path. Only in 2023, we tried to provide guidance to 700 people with going to school and going to universities. And this is the type of work we do. We want to offer practical answers to businesses by proposing motivated young people. We heard about choices made by young people. It's important to hear about their choices. Here, in some areas, of Italy, there are more jobs offered than people could come to these to find these types of job. But we have we have an opportunity. We have a basin of young people and women that can go to and find jobs in companies. What you said is important. It's important to have a clear description of the project. Alternating school at work is something clear for everyone. So you go to school and then you can do training, practical training in a company. So what this young man said, that he had the opportunity to go to school and then to do his practical training at the Pittini company. So we should avoid to use too many acronyms. The idea is to have a clear definition of what we do, alternating school and work. Yeah. This morning, everyone was so worried about, coming here and talking in front of this audience. But now I see that you are really very enthusiastic about. My name is Sara Gusberti. I come from Florence. I attend a food and marketing technical school in Florence. Unlike Francesco, I didn't have the chance because, I did the last years of my school during the pandemic. So. And even people who attended technical schools for tourism were more penalized. But anyway, I got my final school diploma. Unfortunately, there were no job offers at that time, so I was really puzzled. I had a lot of difficulties. The only school that gave me an answer to the many letters I wrote, many applications I had, was an ITS in Florence. I must say that there is a situation where some young people have no alternatives. I mean, I had only this chance with this ITS in Florence. Of course, I tried immediately, and when I finished my secondary school, I started working. Then I attended the universities for a couple of years because I wanted to understand what I really wanted. But the fact that I had the chance of getting in touch with companies, was important for me because I could do a practical experience of work. I could see what I was able to do, and so this was important. Now I am attending this ITS, and I hope I can have a future. Okay, let's talk about two topics. That is the two big transitions, technological transition and the climate transition. I have in front of me two people that can talk about these changes, so the technological change and the climate changes. What is the relationship of new young generations with AI? I come from Messina. I studied at the management engineering polytechnic. It's a honor for me to be here because I am the one who is located in the most southern portion of Italy. Since 1995, we have been involved in the study of sustainability. And of course, when we go around our large cities in Italy, we realize that we can use many services like car sharing or bike sharing or many others, You see that now we prefer to use our personal bottles rather than using plastic bottle for mineral water, for water. So there have been changes that were produced in our society. We always talk about transition, but this process, in a process, it's not only important the transition phase, it's important to see the final goal. So if our goal is to approach the results obtained by countries in Northern Europe, we can consider a lot of small realities. For instance, in my university, in my department, we have a cooperation with other universities. We create small electric cars that are able to move around without creating any environmental impact. So we are confronted with some, objectives. We are confronted with the goals. We have the strength to achieve these goals. I mentioned the Northern Europe countries, Nordic countries, namely Denmark, Finland, Norway. From a technical point of view, they are more advanced. They have a waste management process that is really more advanced than ours. But according to recent studies, fossil fuels will be depleted in 40, 50 years. But what is Italy doing? Is Italy ready to change and to support this big change? Are we ready? Yeah, from a technological point of view, we are ready because Italy is the second manufacturing country in Europe, and the improvement of processes is the key of our success. For instance, we're talking about wastewaters in Italy, purification of waters. I mean, it's something that is being done. Now, we are not ready, we are not good at sponsoring our initiatives, but we are doing significant progresses. I mean, and if we are a reference country for the rest of the world, it means that our industry is sustainable. Of course, we must improve. There is room for improvement, but we have the skills for doing this. I believe that I hope I'll be here in the next 40 years. I'm not too young, but I'm sure that in the next 40 years we'll be able to meet the goals. My name is Luca Salvino. I am 20. I come from ITS Frosinone. Talking about this topic, I can confirm that Italy is very advanced because, I started at ITS in the last 2 years and I made experiences in 2 companies that belong to this foundation, Bitron and OMS. And my experience allowed me to get in touch with AI and operating machines. In both cases, I saw a big development of AI applied to operating machines. Of course, we still have to develop it. There were some problems in fine-tuning this AI. It's something difficult. We don't have all the skills, but from what I've seen, I mean, it has been very stimulating to be in close contact with people that could teach me a lot. At the beginning of my path, I couldn't think I could I could gain such knowledge. But at the end of these 2 years path, I have enough skills to approach the labor market, and this thanks to the ITS I attended. Thank you.
It's interesting that you are looking at AI as a pleasure, not as fear. So if you're well prepared young people see this as a partner, not as someone who's going to steal their jobs. Now, before giving the floor to our last student, I would like to say, obviously, not everyone could work, but during the lunch break and at the end, I tell you, please do talk to these kids because they can talk to you, they can tell you so much about their experiences. So now I would like Abdal to speak. I'm not going to introduce him, but it is a story of determination and passion. Hello, I'm Abdal Ali. I come from Cairo. I'm Egyptian. I go to Don Bosco School. I'm in my 5th year, my last year. And I would like to explain the reason why I chose this school. After middle school, I decided to choose something I liked. So I made this choice. I chose Don Bosco, and with great passion, I managed to find my challenges and make my dreams come true, and thank God I'm here. And I can say that passion is the only driver that brings us to do what we want in life. Without passion, I would have never made it to here. And I could also talk about the fact that to go to school, I have to travel for 2.5, 3 hours. So I've done 5 years like this. I've learned a lot, and I'm very thankful to the community of the Salesians in Don Bosco, and I can say that great determination is important, and I think this is really the driver that will help society move forward and be the protagonists of our society.
Se posso, mi fa particolarmente piacere che sia.
I'm very pleased for Abdallah to be here. I met him 3 weeks ago in Cairo, and I told him I would have liked for him to participate here. So thanks to the ambassador, to the ministry that brought him here, because telling you the passion with which a kid travels 2.5 or 3 hours to go to study for his future with passion. Well, I think this is fantastic. Do talk to him. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. So I really wanted him to come here. So thanks for everyone, because it wasn't easy to have him here today, but I really wanted him to come here and participate, so thanks for coming.
Bene, abbiamo
Lascio
sparato
una parola velocissima alla Presidente Caprioglio.
Solo velocemente credo che
So, well, I think that we all need motivation and energy. We are going to bring home wonderful experiences from today. The kids from the community are really showing us what it means to be determined and passionate. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.